Good morning, guys. Happy, blessed Sunday. Wanted to hop on here and just chat for a little bit. I was going to do a live, but I'm not really ready to do a live yet. So I'm just going to do a regular video. And then that way, if I do things or say things that I'm not allowed to say, then I can kind of get rid of them. Because sometimes my team has a tendency to kind of go on a tangent or a rant. And so I'm just going to do it this way so that way I can kind of monitor what they do. So happy blessed Sunday. How are we all feeling? I hope we're starting to feel a little bit more level-headed. I hope we're starting to feel a little bit more clear. I hope that we are starting to get a little bit more movement from October on. I think Mars went retrograde in beginning of December, and you may have felt, and even Mercury around the same time, you may have even felt a little bit of, a lot actually, a little bit of a heaviness. I've had a lot of people talk about December being just a really ruthless month. I could totally attest to that. Yeah, so let's kind of talk about some different things. I've been trying to think of some videos to do with you guys because I need to get back on schedule and I've had a lot going on, and I do apologize for kind of going MIA. I had my own things that I was dealing with on a spiritual component and also on a physical component, so I do apologize. Actually, you know what? I don't apologize because those are all different things I had to go through in order to grow. And so I'll apologize because I'm that way with you guys. But on the other hand, I'm also very grateful that it's all happened and that it's all went down so that it could allow me to further my spirituality, become more strong in my faith, and lead me into what I'm bringing to you guys this year. So without disclosing any information on that yet, because I'm still not at a point where I can. Once I do get to that point, which will be very soon, I will definitely let people know details as to what we are doing. But until then, I was trying to think of different, and I'm going to bounce around a lot because I haven't talked to you guys for a little bit. You know how that works. You know that I bounce around. If you're one of my clients, you know that when Spirit takes me, we kind of just kind of go around because there's so much in my head that I need to get out. There's so much in my head that needs to be processed. So there's lots of different things I want to show you guys and teach you guys, but I'm trying to think of certain ones to give you at certain times as we go on this new journey together. So one, I'm going to tell you guys about the energy update because I haven't been doing that, and I'm sure that you all have kind of figured out how to do that on your own, but some of you that would rather just watch it on here, you kind of want to know what's going on. So one thing that's happened recently is January 12th, Mars went direct, which should be allowing us to kind of simmer down a little bit, allow things to move forward, not to have so much anger and aggression in our thoughts. Those were kind of put on standstill, and she's kind of starting, well, I would say he's more of a masculine planet. It's starting to rotate and it's starting to move forward. Mercury goes direct this week on Friday on the 19th. That means that communication, electronics, relationship with communication, things like that will start kind of moving forward. They don't actually fully move forward until beginning of February, but at least we'll start feeling a little bit of a relaxation with that, a little bit more of a clear communication moving forward into 2023. 2023 will hit on March 20th on the spring equinox. So for those that think this is the new year, it isn't. But, you know, honestly, for those that do believe that it's the new year, I think that's beautiful because it allows them to have hope. It gives them motivation that they need to help set intention and affirmation and new way, new life, new slate, new canvas, right? So I'll support it, even though it's not necessarily what I believe. Doesn't mean that it's wrong. Doesn't mean that it's not okay. Just means that it doesn't align with me, but that's okay. So Happy New Year to those that are in that space. And for those that are not yet, happy upcoming New Year to us. January 22nd is the Chinese New Year. So they celebrate it as in the moon cycles and the moon phases. We celebrate, and then some celebrate it on the spring equinox when the Earth when Mother Gaia and Mother Nature decides to wake up and she starts really warming up the grounds, and that's right around the corner. So, with that, thinking about different things that we could talk about today. Energy update. Sun is still in Capricorn, at least until like the 20th to the 22nd. So we have at least another week and a half of Capricorn. And before we move into Aquarius. And the moon for the next couple days, just recently at 12:09 today, the moon will move into Scorpio for 2 days. Nobody. The moon will move into Scorpio for 2 days, and we will be in Scorpio. Sorry. Hey. My apologies. Anyways, so where were we at? So the moon will move into Scorpio for 2 days, and we'll be in Scorpio Sunday, Monday, I do believe. Yeah, Sunday, Monday, and maybe possibly Tuesday too. This energy makes us delve in deeper. It makes us go more into the stuff that we've been through recently or the things that we've been going through. Scorpios are very good about going into the shadows. They're very good about rebuilding too. They're really good about sifting through the ashes and rebuilding and making something incredibly beautiful, which is what I am presently doing. It is my jam. It's what I do. I take things from nothing and I turn them into something absolutely beautiful and amazing. And Scorpios are very good at that. We are the death card, but we also, I feel like, have a little bit of magician to us as well. In the fact that we can take something and just create it, manifest it, right? I will be doing a video on manifestation, on manifesting. I have seen some things about not manifesting and that it's not real and whatever, and I think that's a bunch of BS. So eventually I will be doing a video on manifesting, but let's stay on topic. Today I'm going to do a video on spiritual bypassing because that is something that's come into my awareness recently a lot with the world that I work in, with my practice, with my personal life. Those are different things that have come in, and I just really feel like it's something that needs to be addressed and we need to talk about. So we'll talk about that here in just a moment. Right now, though, just as I was talking before, energy update. So Mars went direct. Mercury's getting ready to go direct. Sun is still in Capricorn for another week until about the 22nd. And the moon is moving into Scorpio today, and it'll be in Scorpio for 3 days. We were in Libra for 2.5 to 3 days. It started on Friday, Saturday, and beginning of Sunday was in Libra. And that was about justice. That was about balance. That was about harmony. So a lot of the different things that have been going on in the Mars retrograde, this Libra moon has kind of helped balance that out. It's kind of helped get clarity on where we're at, what we're doing, moving forward, justice, balance, things like that. So that is what Libra energy does. Now we're in Scorpio for 3 days. So that is diving in. That is going into those things that we've found balance in, going into those things that have given us more clarity with Mars going direct and with the moon being in Libra. Ooh, I almost didn't get that one out. So with that, the next 3 days, we get to go deeper into what it is that we want, what it is that we want to create. Once Mercury goes direct, which is on the 19th, you won't feel a lot of movement until the 22nd, and then hold on to your seats because on the 22nd, we go into full throttle. Everything is almost direct. And then for the month of February, we're completely direct. So every planet will be direct. Mercury, Saturn, all of them, every single one of them will be completely direct. Hold on, I'll let my dog in. Good thing I don't really care what I look like. I don't really care what you guys see because some of these movements and some of these ways that I walk around and I look don't necessarily do justice for me, right? They're not very aesthetically pleasing, but I don't really give a shit. So, okay. Anyways, moving forward. Let's move forward, shall we? Yeah, so spiritual bypassing. It's become very big in the community, in the spiritual community, also in other people's lives. And I find it a lot. I'm not going to say that. Don't make me say that. I find it a lot They just won't leave me alone. They won't let me not say it. I'm not going to say it, though. I find it a lot in the community that doesn't really know about spirituality. I find it I'm just going to kind of sugarcoat it. I find it a lot in the community that has no clue that crystals and incense and the Bible even and Christianity, shamanism, all of the movement that's going on right now, right? They don't have any clue that there's much, even yoga, they don't have a clue that there's more of a spiritual component as a whole, right? We've kind of talked about this recently, me and a friend, about the idea that, yoga, most people don't know that there's a spiritual component to yoga. That it's not just about getting on a mat, stretching, buying the most expensive mat that you can find, buying the most expensive water bottle that you can find, buying the most expensive yoga pants that you can find, and, representing yourself. Ooh, that's a hot mess, but kind of in a cool way, right? They don't understand that there's more of a spiritual component to that. They also don't understand that there's more of a spiritual component to crystals, to all of the different things that go with crystals, right? Crystals are energy. We've talked about this before. And that they have a medicinal, holistic quality to them, right? That there is a spiritual awareness that is in every single thing that you touch, every single thing that you do. There's a spiritual component to it, right? Well, some people take that too far. Some people don't actually understand it or actually feel it within their heart space. So they take it to a different level, right? Some of the things that would be used would be love and light, which is one of my absolute triggering, annoying ones, is love and light, okay? We've got to promote love and light. Oh, we got to do this. Well, we got to do that, right? Well, the thing is, there's nothing wrong with love and light. Don't get me wrong, right? I work in love and light. I try to in my practice every single day, but it's not always love and light. And our lives are not always love and light. Whether we try to promote it or not, there's sometimes our lives are shit. There's sometimes that there's shit that comes in that makes us feel like it is the tower moment and it is the worst thing in the world that ever could happen to us. And we just don't feel love and light. And that's okay. Because saying love and light or saying namaste or some of these other things that people, sorry, give me a moment. Oof, stop with that. I love it, but I don't. It's like, this side is kind of balanced and kind of where it needs to be and just kind of like going with the movement. And this one's like, you know what? No, I'm not doing that today. Like, I want to be out here. I want to show what I am. I want to share. I don't want to go with the narrative. I don't want to follow a certain, I'm sorry, my apologies. Let me see if I can, that is just, you know what? I don't think it really matters. I think it's just going to do what it wants. Whatever. So anyways, we are to feel our emotions. We are to feel our feelings, whether they are good or bad, whether they are anger, sadness, grief, happiness, joy, pleasure, whatever those things are, we are supposed to feel them. And when spiritual bypassing becomes a thing, it is where you are using what you think is spirituality. And this would be a testament true in religion too. Like letting God have it, giving it to God. In certain situations, yes, 100%. I've learned my lesson on that. And I have learned that is the case in some cases. But other ones, no, not so much. And I've also learned that you can't always be love and light. You can't always walk that truth without there being dark. Because there cannot be light without dark, and there cannot be dark without light. It just has to happen. It has to coexist with one another. Dark has to be there in order for light to be there as well. It has to balance with one another, right? Because we learn from each other. So, with that, when we talk about spiritual bypassing, it is the idea, if you're thinking about the chakras, you're thinking about the fact of the same idea, where you start from the top of the crown and you work your way down to the root. And I am not, if that is what that practice is and that's what they want to do, 100% let them. But for me, I've always been a firm believer that you have to start from the root and you have to work your way up to the top. Because you cannot find your spirituality, you cannot find the truth, you cannot find any of that until you get into your root, until you get your anxiety in check, until you get your depression in check, until you get your traumas checked, until you heal all those different things that need to be healed. And do they happen overnight? Absolutely not. Is it something that is a journey? Is it something that is a path that has to be led and has to be followed consistently every day? 100%. Do I fall off the wagon? Yes. Do I not get on my mat every day? Yes. Do I cuss once in a while? Yes. Do I read the Bible? Yes. Do I not read it every day? Yes. See, these are all the different things. Balance, folks. There has to be balance. So, when somebody consistently says love and light, namaste, good vibes, what's the other ones that people use? I'm trying to think what the other ones that people use. They're positive connotations, they're positive affirmation, but they don't truly believe it. It's not real, right? When you feel those things, when you have those things in your heart, you don't have to say them all the time. If I consistently went someplace and somebody kept saying love and light all the time, I'm going to look at them and go, okay, that's kind of fake, right? And that's just my 2 cents on the whole idea of spiritual bypassing. You can't go to a shaman and become a shaman. You can't go to a Reiki healer and come out of there, be 100%, your chakras are aligned and everything is freaking bliss and you're a completely different person. That's not how it works. If you talk to any of my clients, it's a consistent thing, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, every month, every once a year, however it is to that person. Consistent is better than not, but it's the same thing with talk therapy. You have to go on a consistent basis and not just go in there and say what people want you to say, and not just go in there and let that counselor tell you what they want you to hear, which doesn't help out any ways either. You have to speak your truth. If we're going to talk about love and light, if we're going to talk about good vibes, you have to speak your truth. You have to set your boundaries. You have to speak your truth. You have to honor yourself and know that does not make us non-empathetic. Know that does not make us selfish. That means that we honor ourselves and we love ourselves enough to know when it's time to let go. We know when it's time to let go. We know when it's time to move on. You know, there's the idea of attachment too, right? We could talk about that as well. We should never be attached to anything. And I mean anything. This blanket on me right now, I like it. It's comfort. It gives me everything that I possibly could ask for. But if it was gone, I can't be attached to it. I can't say, oh God, I can't get comfortable now because I don't have this blanket. I can't say, oh God, I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't have this job anymore. I can't say, oh God, I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm not in this relationship anymore. That is attachment. When you attach to something, it means that you are moving and living your world completely around it. And that can't happen. Because once that happens, that means that it has control over you. And that's with everything, folks. That's with hobbies. That's with love. That's with career. That's with profession. That's with... I've talked to you guys about identities many, many, many times. That we must never have an identity. Whether that be a mother, a father, excuse me, my lemon water's working. A mother, a father, a consultant, a muse, a guide, a guru, a shaman, a Reiki healer, a whatever identity you want to have. An addict, a lover, a fighter, a narcissist. God, you know, like all the different things that are labeled every single day consistently. We cannot have that. We cannot have attachment. You have to know that everything changes. Even scientifically, if you look, every single thing changes. Everything. Even nature changes. Do you think that tree comes back every year the same? No, it doesn't. Do you think that grass grows in the same exact spot every year? If we wanted to live like nature, and we want to, let's say we were a tree, right? Let's say we were a tree. And yes, we come up in the same exact spot every year, okay? For a while, right? But then we also plant other seeds, which plant other trees, which are part of us, right? So you think about going out into nature and being in nature. And you think about that being a tree and being in that one spot all the time. But I'll tell you for a fact, I bet you that that tree does not bloom the same every year. And the reason I know that, let's go by a rose bush that I have out in my front yard. I have roses out in my front yard that go all the way around, and some of you know and some of you don't, and it's whatever, I don't care. But every year, those roses change. Every year. They grow bigger, they grow stronger. Sometimes there's spots of them that die off. Sometimes there's spots of them that grow new. But they're never the same. They're never the same. Yes, they have a home for that time being, but I could pull it out of the ground and I could plant it someplace else, and hopefully it would be okay. Hopefully it would thrive in that space, right? If all of the elements and all of the atmosphere and all those different things are exactly the way they should be, then it should thrive in another spot, right? Well, that depends if there's an attachment. If there's an attachment to that place or that person or that thing, then that person's not going to acclimate to it, and they're not going to enjoy it as much, or they're going to think that they lost something because they have an attachment. See? And it's the same thing with spiritual bypassing. When you consistently keep saying good vibes, love and light, all those different things that are used on a very normal basis, you are sitting from up here with no connection to spirituality, no connection to God's source, no connection to any of those things, and you're just feeling it on a physical, superficial level. And that's what I really, 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 really do not care for. I won't say hate, because I don't hate anything. That is what is wrong with the spiritual community. Yes, that's me being judgmental, 100%. It's the humanistic side of us that we have, and I'm sorry, but we do. The whole taking crystals and incense and love and light and positivity and, Yes, those things are beneficial. Yes, those things help. But even if you pull a deck of tarot cards, even for those that don't, I know that you probably have looked at them from time to time, or you've watched a tarot reading on YouTube. And if you haven't, congratulations. And if you had, kudos to you, whatever it is that you want to do. I've also learned that tarot is not bad. It just has to do with the intention. 100%. I picked my tarot cards up again, and I have looked at them, and I have messed around with them a little bit, and I have used them a few times, because it's all about the intention. There does not have to be any malice or fakeness or anger or anything placed in those cards if you don't want them to be. It's all about the way you read them. It is all about the intention and what is being put in them when you're doing the reading as to what's going to turn out. And it's that way in our lives. Spiritual bypassing is a toxic way of looking at the spiritual movement. And it really bothers me. It bothers me a lot, because it's giving people false hope. It's making people think things that aren't true. And that drives me insane, because we have enough of that. The commercialism behind it, the money behind it, sickens me. 100% sickens me to think that people feel comfortable saying this stuff all the time. They have no idea. 100% have no idea. Until you start doing your shadow work, until you start working through those traumas and through those triggers, and actually working through them, it's all superficial. It's all superficial. Do I think that those words can help? Yes, I do. As long as they're being used correctly and in the right way, and not in the wrong way, or not in a malicious way or a manipulative way towards. Because then you're just enabling. Then you're just lying to yourself, right? If I'm not light and love, or love and light, then I'm not. Period. Nobody's going to force me to be. Nobody's going to force me to be something I don't want to be. I'm a sovereign being. We've had this conversation many times, and I've talked about this many, many times with all of you, which thank you so much for the support. It's not always love and light. When we come into practice, there's some days that it is a shit show, and you can ask clients, it is a shit show from the time they walk in till the time they walk out, but it needs to be done. It needs to be talked about. It needs to be discussed. Because if it's not, it weakens the soul band, and then it causes fragmentation if the fragmentation is not already there. And then that causes attachment, either by an entity or by a negative emotion or both. And then that causes addiction. It causes attachment. That causes all the other things that we all do. Everybody has addiction issues. Every single one of us. Some more than others, some worse than others. But we all are the same. We're all the same thing, just in a different vessel. We're all energy. At least we're supposed to be. So it's why we should take things a little bit more to heart. It's why we should take things a little bit more serious and harder and sadness and all those different things, right? We're all naturally empathic. Every single one of us are naturally empathic. Newsflash, every single one of us, we're psychic. Every single one of us have gifts. So we're all different things that all of us have been given. Some choose to use them and some choose not to. Some are so scared shitless of them and have been brainwashed into thinking they're not allowed to, and they never will. And you know what? Okay, that's their choice. Saddens me a little bit because life would move so much more freely and so much smoother if we move like water. If we allow ourselves to move like water, and when those boulders and those rocks come up, divorce, separation, sadness, death, whatever they are, if we were to move around those like water and allow ourselves to move around them instead of trying to push forward through them, things would go so much easier, so much better. Sorry, I haven't talked to you guys for a while, so it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a rant one. It is what it is. I haven't felt comfortable coming on here and talking, but yeah, I needed to. It needed to happen. I'm so tired of seeing all of the positivity on people's feeds and all the positivity coming out of people's mouths when they don't live it, they don't feel it. They just don't. And by no means do I feel it every single day. Fuck no, I don't. There's some days I wake up and I'm like, God, I don't want to do this today. There's some days I wake up and I cover myself back up with the blankets and I go, game over, time out, I'm done. But we're supposed to do that. We're supposed to feel that way. We're freaking human beings. What is that? I can't think of the word. I love it too. Is it, I know one of you guys will know what it is. I can't think of it right now. What was that? We're spiritual beings have a human experience. Something like that. I think that's what it is. We're spiritual beings have a human experience. I think that's how it goes. And if it's not right and somebody watches this because they decide to allow themselves to listen to my stupidity and my messed up hair for a little bit, I mean, it's whatever. I don't really care. Like, this is who I am. This is me. I'm not going to put filters on because I'm not. I thought about it this morning. I thought, maybe I'll put a filter on, just to make my skin look softer, make my eyes look brighter, or make my lips look fuller. God, I don't know. All the different things that we do to try and hide who we truly are. But why? If I'm trying to speak the truth and I'm trying to tell you guys things, then why would I turn on a filter? What's the point, right? What's the point? I don't want to be fake anymore. I don't want to do that. I had to do it for a little bit. And I wasn't being honest with myself. Wasn't being pure in myself. And even though my career soared and has definitely brought me to where I'm at now, 100%, that was truly me. That was always truly me. But there's other parts that were not. And I can't support it, and I can't be part of it, and that's just who I am. So with that, yeah, guys, spiritual bypassing. Feel your emotions, feel your feelings. Next time somebody says love and light to you and you're not feeling love and light, if you want to, be nice about it, but don't think that you're less than because you're not. Don't think that you're less than somebody else because you're not love and light. Don't think that you're less than because you set boundaries. Don't think that you're less than because you chose not to do something in a certain way that somebody else thought you should. Don't do that. Honor you. This right here. Honor this. What does this tell you? What does your soul tell you? What does your heart tell you? Not what that person's saying, not what that person's saying, not what that person's saying. None of that. What's this right here? What's this speaking to you? What's this speaking? Other ways of spiritual bypassing are ego death. That's another one. Using psychedelics. That's another one. Ayahuasca could even honestly be a spiritual way of bypassing. There's multiple different things that are considered spiritual bypassing. And I have a list of them, and I'll post it here later because I can't remember all of them, and I didn't really want to write it out because they were like fighting me, like, get on there, do a video. They wanted me to do it last night while I was laying in bed, and I was like, I am not doing a video right now. Like, I'm not in the mood. I just want to lay here and relax. So I wrote it in my calendar to make sure that I reminded myself to get up and do one this morning, and I was going to do one on manifesting. And then I was like, you know what? No, spiritual bypassing, that's one that needed to be done for a while, and I'm going to do one on that one. If you look at it on the spiritual component, and if you look at it on a Christian standpoint, spiritual bypassing is flipping through the Bible and grabbing the things out that you want to grab just to fill the void that you need them to fill. Spiritual bypassing would be not reading the whole Bible, but allowing somebody that stands up at a podium to tell you what you should believe, what you should think. That is spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing would be going to a guru and having them tell you what you want to hear, but not actually telling you the truth. Them standing there with their crystal ball. You're laying on the table. Oh, I see this in your future and this. And oh, everything is lucky and great and beautiful, and this is what you should do, and I'll blow the smoke in your face, and everything will be perfect and great. That's spiritual bypassing. I'm going to flip these 3 cards, your past, present, and your future. And I'm going to tell you that, this boyfriend wasn't right for you, but still keep working on it because this is the way that it's going to go. And if you do this, then this will happen. No, that's spiritual bypassing. Those are all different forms of spiritual bypassing, folks. Getting on your mat, stretching your body, not working through those emotions that are lodged in your hip flexors or in your toes or in your fingertips. And then getting up and moving on and saying, well, I did my stretches today and, well, I feel better. Okay, that's great. But did you work through any of those emotions that you were moving out? Is there a reason that you dropped down on the mat and started crying hysterically because you were in so much pain? What was that pain trying to show you? What emotion are you holding on to in that hip? Which I have one, yes. So that's why I'm kind of relating to that. I'll be totally transparent with you. Yes, I'm holding some emotions in my hip flexors right now. I have a tendency to hold them in my stomach and in my hips. I was going to do a video also on some breathing that you can do for anxiety that will help actually remove those emotions out of your solar plexus, out of your stomach. Because a lot of times, most of us being empathic beings, boy, I'm just on it today. This might be an hour video set, guys. I'm sorry. Hopefully you got plenty of time for this. A lot of times when we go through certain things that would cause us to have really high amounts of anxiety, anger, all those different things, they will lodge in our body. So am I doing this too? Okay. So residual energy, right? Let's talk about residual. Let's talk about residual energy because that's something else that's come up a lot. We've talked about it in practice. I've talked about it in meditation. The idea of residual energy is that something that you've been through, whether it be a surgery, whether it be a death, whether it be a breakup, whether it be abuse, all of those different things, they lodge in our body on a subconscious level. 100% they do. Give me just a minute. Let me get a drink of my lemon water. I'm slacking today. When it comes to residual energy, it's something that's still stuck. Works the same way with spirit. If you do a medium session and something was in the room, there's a very good possibility. So hi to Novi. Hi, say hi, Novi. Sorry, guys. Say hi to Novi. He hasn't been on video for a while. He's gotten so big. Yep, Him's gotten so big. He's got to be a big boy. He's going to lay down with me for a little bit. You going to lay down with me? All right. He wants some kitty cat butt pats. You guys do that with your kitty cats? Do you go do kitty cat butt pats? I love kitty cat butt pats. They're my favorite. He's been getting up here and absorbing for me and helping me go through some of the stuff that I've been going through. He's a keeper for sure. He's really been supporting and helping. Anyways, though, what were we talking about? I'm sorry. Oh, no, you're not going out. No. You go lay down. Booney wants to say hi, too. You want to say hi? Say hi. Well, excuse you, pig. Say hi to everybody. This is Booney. Watch my house. My house is a mess right now. My house is a mess right now. It's like I'm opening a business or something, and I got all kinds of other shit going on. True that. Never knew that opening a business would be so difficult. Or not difficult, just a lot of work. Just a lot of work. But I will tell you, and then I'll go back to what we were talking about. I will tell you that, wow, the support and the people coming out from the shadows and out from the rocks that I haven't seen for a minute, I'm blown away by the support that I've gotten just by people wanting to know what I'm doing or where I'm going, or I don't know, all the things. It's just, it's mind-blowing, and it's honestly very surreal. Honestly, very, very surreal. No. Stop. Quit. Boom. No. You're not going back out there. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to deal with him. No. Go lay down. And stop. Sorry. So anyways, with that, just surreal as to what's going on right now. Surreal as to the movement and everything that's happening so fast. Normally we don't do anything in retrogrades. Normally we wait. I kept saying I'm not going to do anything until the 19th. I'm not going to do anything until the 19th. I'm not going to sign anything until the 19th. But the building came along and it was perfect, and the others come along, and it all just fit. And I kind of, moving further into my spirituality and moving further into my faith, this definitely making me do that. I kind of had to have a come to Jesus meeting, right? And thank you for the sun coming in on me right now. I had to have a come to Jesus meeting because I was kind of at a standstill and I didn't know what to do. And I kept praying every day, what should I do? What should I do? And how should I handle this? And it all just moves so fast. And when I questioned what I was going to do, and I said, well, I can't do anything because it's Mercury retrograde and it's Mars retrograde, and I don't want to do anything until this happens, until we go direct, and, I was like, well, I can't do that, right? Because if I was to do that, then I wouldn't have faith. Faith doesn't follow astrology. Faith follows just that, faith. Having faith in something way bigger than us. Knowing that we're completely guided and protected at all times. And so when it came to that point where I had to make decisions, and I had to make them really quick, I had to decide, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? What's going to happen? And that's when I learned. I gave it to God, whomever that is to you, that higher power. I said, okay, all right, you lead. You take the wheel. Because right now I'm not driving. Of course, we're never driving. But I said, all right, take it. Take it. You have it. Do what you want. Because I don't know what to do. And I'm thinking from emotion right now, and I'm not thinking from clarity, and I'm not being clear-minded and clear-headed on this. And so yeah. So all the support system that I've had and everything has been absolutely amazing, and I'm so thankful for each and every single one of you, and you know who you are, in my life right now, that's been with me the whole way, and who has, walked every step of this with me from the time that I was doing it at the park to having my own building now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty surreal. But anyways, let's go back to residual energy. So stay with me, because I'm just bouncing all over the place, and most of you know how that works. So residual energy. The idea of residual energy, right, is exactly that. Everything is energy. Whether it be an entity, whether it be an emotion, whether it be something that we've said, thought, did, it's all energy. And so with residual energy, once you go in, let's go with talk therapy, because this is something that I got a realization about, and I thought it was pretty amazing. Even with EMDR, I have a couple clients that go do EMDR and stuff, and they'll go do it, they'll go do it, but then they get their time out, right? Like, okay, well, time's up. We're done for today. Well, I'll see you next week, or I'll see you in 2 weeks, or whatever. And then all of that stuff kind of comes up to the surface, but it doesn't get solved. Nothing gets done with it, right? The idea of talking and purging and all these things, that stuff comes up, but then it just sits there. It doesn't go anywhere because it's energy. So, working the conscious and the subconscious mind together, when you're doing talk therapy, you're taking the conscious mind. And then when you're going through with EMDR, when you're going through a lot of these things, I think you're accessing the subconscious, and then you're kind of balancing and bringing both of those together to work through those traumas and things that most people don't remember, or if they do remember them, they're not getting resolved, right? But what I learned was the issue with that is the fact that once it gets brought up to the surface, if it's not worked through energetically, it goes straight back down, which causes more hostility, more anger, more sadness, more panic attacks, more all the things, right? All the lower vibrational things, which that's another form of spiritual bypassing. So be careful with that, because if you're saying low vibration all the time, it's okay for us to be in a lower vibration once in a while. Don't stay there, but sometimes you got to go in that lower vibration in order to get yourself back up. It's like climbing a ladder, right? You're down here, and then you climb back up, and then you get down here, and then you climb back up. But every single time you climb up, you're supposed to go more and more and more into your ascension, right? So once again, another form of spiritual bypassing. But anyways, with talk therapy, and even with any form of therapy, even if it's just going and sitting at a bar, which I don't highly recommend, but even if it's going and sitting at a bar and talking to that bartender, yeah, you're talking about that stuff. But if you're not removing the energy from it, it's not doing any good, because then it just sits there. And then it stews, and it turns, and then it causes disease or disease of the body. We talked about that before. So with residual energy, it has to be removed. It has to go somewhere. So even if there's an argument or a breakup or a fight or, a change in job, all those different things, a death in the family, those things have to be worked through on an energetic level. Because if they're not, then they just stay there. They just sit there. I think it's why grieving takes longer if you're just trying to process on your own. And we're never supposed to completely be over somebody passing away. Well, I think we're supposed to, but most people don't think we are. Most people, want to hold on to it so badly, or they want to stay attached to it because it's what they remember and they miss that person so much. But the thing is, it does us more justice. It actually helps us more in our heart space, and it also helps that spirit more if we are able to let go. Because that allows them to move on and cross over. And it also allows us to feel more solace in our heart, for us to feel more at peace. And that's literally what it's all about, is that we are to feel at peace and they are to feel at peace. But with residual energy, it has to be processed. It has to be worked through, whether that's with sound, whether that's with incense, whether that's with prayer, whether that's with meditation, whether that's with Reiki, whether that's with energetic healing, all of those different things, it has to be worked through, which is why energy healing is so incredibly crucial and so important. And it's not because I have a business, and it's not because I'm trying to get you to come in and see me. That's not why. That's got nothing to do with it. If you don't come see me, do it on your own. If you can't afford it, find a way, to do it on your own. There's YouTube videos, there is books, there are you can even get on Facebook, right? Everybody gives Facebook such a hard time, but Facebook has been crucial in my growth, through getting comfortable enough to do videos with you guys and not really give a shit what I look like, or being able to watch different streams from other people that they post, different memes, positive memes and stuff, or not positive, right? We don't always have to post positive memes. We don't. We can post different things that just align with people and help them through their time, which is what I do. I post multiple different things all the time, whatever I feel would resonate with the collective, whatever I feel would resonate with the people that are on my timeline. And a lot of times it's crazy to see how many people say, wow, thank you, I needed that. Because everybody's going through those things. And that's the interesting thing, right? So even when I'm personally going through things, it's a very good possibility that y'all are going through personal things too, because of the energy, because of the planetary alignment, because of the way that things astrologically are working as we speak. Those different things are why I post the things that I post. Those different things are why I say the things that I say. It's just a way for you guys to relate. It's a way for us to relate to one another, because newsflash, We're all the same thing. We're literally all the same thing. That's why when there's something that happens catastrophic in town, everybody feels it on an energetic level. It's why something new comes into town, everybody feels it on an energetic level. Hell, even your family. It doesn't even have to be, it can be close, but it doesn't have to be super close. But anybody that you intimately are involved with, and that means, doesn't mean necessarily sex, it means intimately involved. Somebody that you're friends with, somebody that is a colleague, my clients, they're all family. So when they're going through something catastrophic, I'm going to feel it. When I'm going through something catastrophic, they're going to feel it and they're going to know. Without me saying a word, they're going to know because we're energetically connected. You're all family. And honestly, anybody that watches this video, anybody that watches my videos and follows my stupidity and follows my rants and all those different things, we're all connected energetically. It's why distance healing works from all over the globe, because it's energy. It's the intention. It's the placement of your hearts together, which is why hugs are a thing and why connection is a thing on a physical, intimate level. That's another video I could do. It's all energy. Like, if there was anything that you guys can learn from anything that I have taught you within the last 3, 4, 5 years, because some of you know me way back when I was still a bartender and still a server. And even at that point, I was doing this work. I just didn't know I was. I've just taken it to the next level. It was all part of my ascension. It was all part of me growing into who I am now. And I'm not even done yet. I'm not even done yet. That's the comical thing. You know, the things that I've done within the last 4 years, from opening a business in Huntington to having actually, I opened a business in Huntington a while ago. I opened a business in Huntington 3 years ago when I was doing it out at the park. When I was going to festivals around here. When I was doing videos and going to people's houses. That was opening a business. When I opened a brick and mortar, that was another stepping stone. Now opening another brick and mortar. Now opening up another location, another storefront, another space. That, a sacred space, if you will. That is another stepping stone to meet new people, to make new connections, to form stronger connections with the people I already know. Those are different things that are moving into me, that are coming into me, right? And so, hell, let's go ahead and talk about manifestation too while we're at it, shall we? The idea of manifestation is that everything that you think can be created. Everything that you want can be created, right? Well, it's not a lie. Because most of the time, those things that you're thinking, those things that are strong within your heart, those things that are every single day going in and out of your space and you think about or you dwell on or whatever, you're manifesting those. You're manifesting them. Whether it's abusive relationships, whether it's happiness, whether it's a new relationship with somebody, whether it's getting married, whether it's finding a house, buying a business, you're manifesting every single one of those. Most of the time, they're already within that line. They're already in your energetic field. They're just not with you yet. That's why sometimes you visually can see things before they're actually tangibly touchable, right? So that's why I tell people in practice sometimes if there's certain things that you really want and it doesn't, okay, let me take that back. It's not like things that you want that is on an egotistical level. Because yes, I do believe that ego definitely can be bad, right? So when I say ego death, I don't believe in ego death, and I've had a video on this before, and you guys, most of you know about this, but I don't believe in ego death because I believe the ego has to exist. But there's a difference between ego and confidence, 100%. There's us being confident in ourselves. There's us knowing what we want. There's also the ego, which hurts others or just doesn't help us or work with us. And then that's the bad part of ego. But balance. There has to be good and bad in everything. And even bad sometimes isn't necessarily bad. It's all about perception. It's about the way it's looked at. So that's another thing to think about and talk about at another time. But manifesting, the idea of manifesting is that it has to do with our intuition. It has to do with the wants and needs that we have. It has to do with us setting boundaries and taking that step. It has to do with us believing in ourselves too, right? Because we really can't really manifest the things that are meant for us We can't have the things. I don't even say manifest, right? We can't have the things that are meant for us if we don't believe that we can have them. If we consistently every day say, my life is shit and I'm never going to have this and this is never going to happen and this person did this to me and that person did that to me and this is just horrible and I can't believe this is going on and blah, 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 blah. And you're staying down there, always playing the victim, then that's exactly what it's going to be. That's always going to be that way. 100%, it's always going to be a shit show. As bad as you walk out the door and let's say you spilled your coffee, you broke a plate, you fell down the stairs, whatever. You walk out the door and a bird shits on your shoulder. It just keeps toppling and it keeps going that way consistently that whole day because that is the mood that you have set for the day. That is what you have said is going to happen to you all day long. And then, the bird shits on your shoulder and you're like, well, fuck, there's another, there we go again. There's something else shitty happening to me. I'm going to go get my car. I suppose my car's not going to start. Oh, well, look at that. My car doesn't start. Oh, well, I'm going to go down the street and I suppose I'm going to find out my boyfriend broke up with me. Well, I just found that out. My boyfriend. You're manifesting that. You literally are manifesting that that's going to happen. Now, it's a possibility that it's already going to happen anyways, and that you're just feeling it before it happens, because I have that happen once in a while too, where I'm like, oh, today's just not going to be a great day. Because I already know it's not going to be a great day. It's not like I'm manifesting that it's not going to be a great day. It just isn't going to be a great day because I'm already feeling that it's going to be that way. But I can change my perception of it. I can say, okay, I realize today's not going to be a great day. I realize that I'm going to go through lots of trials and tribulations, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to enjoy it anyways. I'm going to try and make the best of it that I can. Oh, okay, a bird shit on me. Well, you know what? That's fertilization for my shoulder. Maybe my shoulder will feel better today. Maybe there's something in that bird's shit that's going to actually go into my skin and it's going to make me feel better. Like, changing your perception of anything and everything is the key to manifestation. It literally is the idea that if we really want something, we can have it. No matter what, we can have it. Now, don't be stupid and think, oh, I'm going to have a huge yacht in Florida. I want that. That's going to happen. I'm not saying you can't have it, but I'm saying if it doesn't align with you, it may not happen right at that moment like you want it to because it's not time yet. Same thing with your relationships. I have lots of people that come in and talk to me and they're like, I had a few people that come in last week and they were like, I just can't find my purpose. What's my purpose? What do you mean, what's your purpose? Well, I just don't know. What's my purpose? Like, I don't feel like I belong here. I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm worth anything. Well, you're here, right? Well, yeah, then that's your purpose. Well, no. That doesn't make any sense because I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. Why do you have to know? Present moment, folks. Present moment is very, very crucial. It's very important because we can't have those new things that we want without living in our present moment, with allowing ourselves to see things from different perspectives. And it could be the smallest, tiniest thing, but those small, tiny things lead us to those big things. It's just about perspective. It's just about allowing ourselves to see it and being present within that moment. Present moment is so huge. And it's why the collective has so much anxiety. It's why the collective has so much anxiety and so many panic attacks and all these other mental illnesses and stuff like that, is because they can't stay in the present moment. You know why a lot of people can't stay in the present moment? Because of their trauma. Because their present moment was not good. If somebody consistently, when they were a child, got the shit beat out of them, they're carrying that over into their present life, into their future life. And so they're going to all automatically always be on fight or flight and think that something bad's going to happen to them, or think that they're going to get the shit beat out of them, or not feel safe, because that's what they know from present moment. So why stay in present moment? Why not search for future? When am I going to get a leg up? When is it going to be my turn? When am I going to be able to be that person? When am I going to be able to have that relationship? When am I always looking for outside source instead of what's inside of you? Because you're not whole inside. Because you've not found those different things that you need to find inside of you. The likes, the dislikes, the hobbies, the love, the unconditional love for yourself. So you sure as hell can't find it in somebody else. Because then you're just going to find broken fragments of you inside that other person. Which is why I tell people not to go into relationships all willy-nilly, and not to go into a relationship with somebody if you're not healed from the last relationship, because you're going to pull that past relationship into you. We deal with that a lot in practice, where people talk and we talk about relationships and stuff. And most relationships, couple sessions and stuff, the reason those relationships are not working is because that person is still carrying their shit from their past relationship in the present one. It's crazy how it works, but it's residual energy. 100% it is residual energy that is in your subconscious because you've not let go. That person did me wrong. That person hurt me. And your subconscious, you're always going to think that that next person is going to hurt you. You're waiting for the ball to drop because you think it's going to go wrong. You're already manifesting that it's going to go wrong. You are the one doing it. You are the one doing it to yourself because you are manifesting that that is what's going to happen. Well, my past relationship was abusive. My past relationship, the guy didn't care about me. Well, I'm pretty sure that this one's going to be the exact same way. Dude, you're manifesting that into that relationship, and that's probably what's going to end up happening. And yes, it might be that other person's fault, but you pulled that energy to you. You pulled that relationship to you because there's still shit inside of you that's not healed from that past relationship or the relationship before that or your childhood or multiple other things. Your baby daddy, your mama daddy, whatever. Like, you're not working through it. So therefore, it sits in your subconscious and it just sits there and you pull it into you because that's the energy you have inside of you. That's where spiritual bypassing comes into play. That's where, what else? Manifesting comes into play. That's where residual energy comes into play. That's why I did this in a 3. I didn't know why I did that. Thank you, Spirit. That's why I did this in a 3, because all 3 of them, this is probably one of my most powerful videos I've ever done. All 3 of those things play a huge role in what you do and how you live your life every day as to whether it's going to be good or bad. We were not put here to be in misery, people. Big misconception. Even though we're told that, I don't think we were ever meant to be here in misery. We're meant to live our best lives and beautiful lives. Just about perspective and just about perception. You choose how you live. Yeah. 100%. You choose what you allow yourself to adapt to. You choose what you allow yourself to attach to, which is why attachment, big no-no. No attachment. So, long, hopefully helpful. Love you guys. I will be releasing details more and more as we move forward into my new journey. Actually, strike that, your new journey. Because every single one of you are going to be welcome into the space. And I hope that you definitely take advantage of it because it's going to be huge. But I'm not going to disclose anything yet until everything is all definitely solidified and ready to go. But I will be showing you guys things as I go. I'm going to do some painting probably tomorrow. All the window treatments and stuff should be here today. I'm super stoked about that. And then I'm going to go down and get the windows done. Not the actual, front part of the window, but the curtains, the lights, all of those things that make it exciting as to know what's in there. And then it'll just be kind of hidden for a little bit until we do our opening. And I'm thinking in March is when we're going to do our opening. I'm setting up sessions. I'm going to run specials in February for a couple sessions. I did one a couple days ago, I think it was. I did one a couple days ago and it was awesome. It was amazing. I felt like it was very beneficial to others. So I will definitely be running specials on couple sessions for the month of February. I do plan to do, I even look even more of a hot mess now. Look at me go. Oh, look at my silvers. They look pretty today. That's all natural, folks. I will be doing an event for a cacao ceremony because people have been asking for it. We did a private one on Friday night and it was so beautiful. And I definitely want to do another one. Probably a couple more of them, more of those different things that I was doing when we first launched here in Huntington will be more of what I am bringing to the shop. More spiritual things, more workshops, more moon ceremony, more all the things that people have been asking for that I kind of backed off from. It's time for Soul Weaver Alchemy to shine. It is time for it to be the star of the show instead of in a corner. It's always been in a corner and it doesn't need to be anymore. It needs to be able to shine its light. And it needs to be also able to show you your darkness, which is what Soul Weaver Alchemy is all about. So guys, thank you so much for taking an hour with me. We're almost at an hour. I apologize. I've never really done an hour video, but I think it'll be amazing. I'm going to try and do some more YouTube stuff too, guys, so just bear with me. I hope to be able to do that soon, but a lot going on right now. We are looking for tables, furniture, lamps. I'm also looking for sycamore branches. I know that sounds silly, but I have an idea for those, and I know what I want to do with them. And so we're looking for sycamore branches and stuff. So if you guys know where to get those and you feel the call to watch this long drawn out video, and you get to this point, thank you. One, my heart is overwhelmed, but also please message me, let me know where I can get those at. I think I have an idea where I can get them at. I've just been too much of a chicken shit to go out and walk around in the cold and try and find them. But I've got to get them, then do some wormwood on them, get all of the bugs off of them and everything. I wish I could let them just climb off, but they won't do it on their own, so they've got to get off of there. So I'm not bringing any creepy crawly friends into our space, but I mean, I'm sure we'll have those anyways, but I don't want people to feel like there's all kinds of creepy crawlers in our space. So yeah, sycamore branches, if you guys know where to get those or have any, I would definitely take those off your hands. Any rattan, furniture, pieces, anything organic, natural, wood. If anybody makes wood type stuff and they want to showcase it, the space is very big and very expansive, and we definitely have room. So please, please, please let me know. I know I've reached out to a few people about the branches, and I'm going to go look on my own as well because I always do my own work. But I also have no issue asking for help as well. Let's try and run this out to 111. Why don't we? Because that's, a really good number. So I'm going to try and run it out to that. It's 101 right now. So anything else I was going to tell you guys? The video, dear. The amount of time on the video. And actually, Trev just said it was 12:12, so I guess I could end it on 12:12. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to tell you guys. I already told you I'm doing sessions. I'm going to run specials in February for couples. And I've got more room now, so I can do what I wanted to do before, where I lay y'all on a blanket, a real soft blanket, and probably not a blanket of roses. I think it's a Bon Jovi song, isn't it? One of my favorites. Look that up. Somebody needs that, apparently. Bed of Roses, I think is what it is, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I can do the flower mandalas and make them really big now. And we can all sit in them, and we can chant, and we can goose fraba, and we can not Kama Sutra. Maybe not Kama Sutra. But we can do all those things and have fun with one another. And just create a tribe and a community is what I'm doing. So enjoy your Sunday. I've got some orders I got to work on. I'm still doing wire wraps and stuff. And then those will be definitely showcased in the store. Looking for vendors. So if there's any vendors that are interested, we'll be doing that as well. Oh, is there anything else? I think that's it for now. I'm going to get off here because I look silly and I've been on here way too long. So love you guys. Have a great and blessed Sunday. I will check in with you soon. Enjoy this Scorpio energy. Make sure you're diving in and working in it. Don't ignore it. Let yourself cry. We're in water energy, so allow it to happen. Remember that when you take earth and water, you get mud. You don't have to, though. In some cases, you can get growth, right? Because dirt and water can grow something. It can plant a seed. It just depends on if both people are on the same page. Or if both energies are on the same page. So, yeah. So enjoy this energy. I know I'm feeling it. Enjoy this energy. If you guys have any questions or anything or any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment area. I'm trying to get better with that with YouTube. I'm going to do the subscribe and like and all that fun stuff eventually. So, yeah. Love you guys so much. Have a great, blessed Sunday.